Hey, what's up guys, it's Paralyzar, and as you guys know, I haven't been playing a lot of WoW. If you've been following me on Facebook, you know that I haven't been on too much. If you've been following me on League of Legends, you know that I haven't been playing too much. If you've actually had me on Real ID, you just know that I haven't been on. And that's just a personal preference of me saying that I don't want to play WoW right now. It's not what I want it to be at the moment. I'm not saying that I'll never play it again. I'm saying that I'm going to play it a lot less frequently. Now, what that means is that I will be uploading other content, and it will be League of Legends, more than likely. You guys know that I've been pushing towards this for a little while now, and I'm deciding to make that move. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I know that I haven't been streaming, I haven't been playing WoW, and I haven't been really doing anything other than play League. And that's simply because I enjoy League a lot, and I'm not enjoying WoW as much right now. Now, part of the reason is, yes, that I don't think Ret is as good as it was. Now, people always thought Ret was OP last season. What they didn't realize is that Ret was based on PHP, and that was the only way that Ret was any good last season. And that sucks, because it put Ret in a point where it was like, if it didn't have that comp, it wasn't good. But if it was with that comp, it was really good. And what that means is that Ret ended up getting nerfed. Now, the argument is that Ret is as good as it was last season. Now, last season, Ret was only viable with PHP. The problem there is that PHP is no longer as viable as it was. That's not to say that it's gone. It's just not as good as it used to be. I've said this on my stream and stuff like that, that Ret will still be here this season. PHP will still be here this season, but it won't be as good. Now, where that leaves Ret is, it's without the comp that made it so strong last season. And that leaves you looking for comps, stuff like that. Now, what I found is that Ret Warrior is probably really good. Ret Elemental Shaman is probably really good. Ret Rogue is probably really good. But, if you look on the Armory, there are no Ret Paladins. There's very, very, very few. The only one that I can find at the top 3 pages is Vanguard's. And he's probably the best Ret to ever play WoW. So that makes sense, right? Now, where that leaves other Rets like myself, multi-2200 Ret, I don't have 2,400 players to play with on a daily basis. So it's not something where it's like, hey, I'm gonna play and get really good, and I'm gonna be the best Ret ever. It doesn't work like that, sadly. Not in this day and age of World of Warcraft. It's just not like that. There's a lot less people playing, that's for one. For two, I'm on Darkspear, and Darkspear isn't what I want it to be right now. That's not to say that I'm leaving or anything. I did consider the fact of moving servers. I just decided against it because I don't want to put the money into it, because I'm not enjoying the game. So yeah, I don't want to harp on this anymore. The bottom line is, I'm going to be doing other stuff, more than likely League of Legends. I will still play WoW once in a while. I do have the idea of a fan day coming up soon, because you guys are 90% of the reason I played WoW as long as I did, because I fucking love you guys. And if I didn't play the game, it left a lot of people messaging me going, hey man, where you been, you know, like, and all the messages you guys send me and stuff, it means the world, so don't forget that. Like, it's not, you guys mean a lot to me, and providing content that you want to see means a lot to me too, but I can't play a game that I no longer enjoy, if that makes any sense. That's not to say that like I said, it's not to say that I'll never play WoW, but it's going to be less frequently, and when I do get on, it'll be to record funny videos, or fun videos for you guys to watch and enjoy. Also, fan days. I do want to do fan days with you guys, because I miss doing those. It gave me the idea that, you guys enjoyed these videos enough that you want to come hang out with me. And with 40 likes on the last few videos and 600 views, I do realize that, and I do appreciate it. So, with that being said, I was not going to record a guide. I said I was not going to do it, but I've been reading through the comments, and I've seen the support, and I'm going to do it for you guys. Now, the guide itself, you guys might think that sounds a little cheesy, but I literally was not going to record this until I saw some of the comments that were posted on the videos. So that's kind of an asshole move by me, and I'm sorry for that. Like, I wasn't going to do it. but I decided it'd be a better idea to go ahead and record it. So this isn't going to be some flashy guide that I was promising, sorry, but it is going to be a guide nonetheless. And it's going to be a straight to the point guide. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this. Sorry for this long ass introduction, but we're going to go ahead and get into it now. I'll put a marker at the front, so if you guys want to skip to this, it's fine. The first thing to talk about for your ret is that not much changed, actually. Haste and crit are still your main stats. Haste and strength are still your main stats. Followed by, we'll say crit. So in order of stats from highest to least is going to be strength, haste, crit, mastery, right? It's easy to understand. Now, with your smaller stats in there, such as hit and crit, hit and expertise, those are obviously up there too. Now, the first real thing that people ask questions about is gemming, haste, strength, and strength. Those are the 3 gems. Now, the actual names for them 3 gems are Bold Primordial Ruby, as I'll show you in the helmet, the Tense Imperial Amethyst, which is in your belt, and the Fierce Vermilion Onyx, which you'll see in your boots. Here. Now, I'm going to go ahead. Now, I didn't list them and name off what they do because you can see them. It's obvious. For your helmet, you're going to want the Tyrannical Primal Diamond, 665 PvP power with 775 PvP resilience. And for your red slot, you'll want the Bold Primordial Ruby. In your shoulders, you're going to go ahead and get the Fierce Vermilion Onyx, as it is a yellow slot. In your chest piece, you will want the Bold Primordial Ruby, as it's a red slot, and a Fierce Vermilion Onyx. In your gloves, you will have a Tense Imperial Amethyst. In your belt, you will also have a Tense Imperial Amethyst and a Bold Primordial Ruby. In your legs, a Bold Primordial Ruby and a Tense Imperial Amethyst. And in your boots, as we already went over, a Fierce Vermilion Onyx. Pretty simple, not too much to explain there. As I said, your main stats from highest to least are strength, haste, crit, mastery. So you do it in that order. That's kind of how you base. Now, people do ask why you use this, the Tense Imperial Amethyst. It's because there isn't really a gem other than the 160 haste, 80 PvP power. But this is better because of the strength. Like, you want the strength. Strength is your main stat. That's where you get these off gems, the hybrid gems, I guess you call them. So, like, the 80 strength, 160 haste. That's really good because both of them are your main stats. Now, that kind of leads us into the other general problem for most people that are new or learning ret is not reforging, but enchanting. For your helmet, there's no longer an enchant. For your shoulders, you'll be using the 200 strength, 100 crit. For your cloak, you'll be using 180 hit. Cannot use on the ground. I just want to look at it. 180 hit, anyway. Oh, there's no gem, my bad. And in your chest piece, you'll be using 80 to all stats. On your braces, you'll have 180 strength. On your gloves, you'll have 180 strength. And on your belt, you'll have the, I believe it's called the Living Steel Belt Buckle. On your legs, you'll have 285 strength. 285 strength and 165 crit. And on your boots, you'll have 140 mastery and minor move speed. That is called the Pandaren Step. Sorry, I don't know all of the names. I believe this is called Superior Stats. I believe the shoulder is Tiger Fang or something like that. I'm not sure. Just look for the one with strength rather than agility. And that's pretty much it for enchanting. Reforging. Now, reforging is kind of complicated for a lot of people, but I'm going to simplify it. If it has haste on it, reforge the second stat to crit. If it doesn't have haste, if it has crit and doesn't have haste, reforge the second stat that's not crit to haste. So, for instance, your helmet. Your helmet doesn't have either. So you're going to reforge in line. It'll be, your stats from highest to least are strength, haste, crit, mastery, and so on and so forth. The last one is mastery. Notice that expertise is not up there, so you can reforge your expertise to haste. Your shoulders have haste on them. So the second stat, which is expertise, you can go ahead and reforge to crit. Your weapon, for instance, it has critical strike on it, and it has mastery. Now, haste and crit are very important, so you can reforge the mastery to haste. Fairly simple, right? There isn't too much to really think about there. And I think a lot of people have trouble with that because people explain it weirdly, like I think I just did, but it's simple, man. Like, if it has haste, reforge the other stat to crit. If it has crit, reforge the other stat to haste. If it has both, leave it. Simple. There isn't much to say there. I mean, actually, it's just really easy. Now I'm gonna go ahead and talk about your talents and your glyphs and all that good shit. Your glyphs, there's two standard glyphs. These are the ones I call standard because you'll always be using them. Glyph of Burden of Guilt. I've talked about this. It pretty much slows the target by 50%. It's amazing. And Glyph of Templar's Verdict. Jesus. Sorry. You take 10% less damage when using Templar's Verdict or Exorcism. Really important. And the third one that is interchangeable, you can switch this with the Glyph of Divine Protection. I'm sure you know what that does. You can switch it with Double Jeopardy, or you can switch it with Word of Glory. Either one's fine. Word of Glory, 3% per holy power. Holy power. You can, when you heal an ally or whatever, like every time you use Word of Glory with 3 stacks, you're gonna gain 9% damage basically. And with Double Jeopardy, every time you Judgment and then switch targets and Judgment someone, that damage is increased by 20%. Fairly simple. And for talents, I've been over this. Long Arm of the Law, best one. Every time you Judgment, you gain 45% movement speed for 3 seconds. There's a downtime of 2 seconds because your Judgment's a 5-second cast. Or not a 5-second cast, but a 5-second cooldown. So you're pretty much, other than 2 seconds, you're going to always have this movement speed increase. Fist of Justice is still the best. 30-second cooldown on a 6-second stun. Amazing. Selfless Healer. Basically what this does for Ret is every time you use Judgment, you gain a 35% stack that improves the effectiveness of your Flash of Light by 20%, and it reduces the cast time by 20%, or sorry, not 20%, but yeah, something like that. Anyway, so every time you use this, every time you Judgment 3 times and then you use Selfless Healer, you get an instant cast, 60% increased effectiveness Flash of Light. Clemency is still really, really good. This allows you to use 2 of abilities such as Hand of Freedom, Hand of Protection, Hand of Sacrifice, and Hand of Salvation. Hand of Purity is really good. I want to kind of point that out, that Hand of Purity is really good. Hand of Purity stops 80% dot damage, and it reduces damage taken by 10% in general for 6 seconds. Now, you can only use this on allies. Really amazing. So when you're against the Warlock Cleave, try this one out. I like to use it against Warlock teams. I think it's really good. Other than that, Holy Avenger and Holy Prism are the guaranteed 100%. Always use these abilities as red. They are the best. Holy Avenger is like Zealotry from last season. Pretty much every time you hit someone with Crusader Strike, you get a free Templar's Verdict, or you hit him with Judgment, or whatever. Anything that gives you Holy Power, it'll give you 3 stacks. And you can smash someone in the face with a Templar's Verdict, and just repeat that process. And Holy Prism is a ranged attack that does quite a bit of damage. Try it out. I think it's the best one by far. Execution Sentence and Light's Hammer are just not that good for Ret. So yeah, Holy Prism, all the way, guys. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there isn't much else to talk about, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember that if you have any questions and or comments, you can go ahead and leave that below. Remember to like the video if you liked it. If you didn't, I'm sorry. My bad. I don't know. I did talk a lot at the start of the video, but that's okay, because you know what? If you guys actually like my videos, you'd listen to it anyway. So yeah, I guess that's about it, guys. Remember, if you have any suggestions, leave it below, because I'm always open to that stuff. I will see you next time. Much love.